Hi, Varun. How are you doing?
Hi, Yashaswi. I'm doing well. How are you?
I am good too. Let's dive straight into the case.
Sure.
Are you ready with pen and paper?
Yep.
Okay, amazing. So, your client is actually an online software provider and they grew fairly well in the past. But this particular year, they've flattened out, unable to grow beyond the particular barriers. So the CEO has come to you to help grow this business beyond the $110,000 a month revenue that they're currently making.
Got it. I'll just reiterate the problem statement just to ensure I've gotten that correct. So our client is an online service provider. Their sales have flattened, and they would want to now grow their sales beyond $110,000.
A month, yes.
Right. Sure. Uh, I would like to firstly understand the business a bit better. Could you help me understand what are the different products that the client currently has?
Okay, yeah. So it's basically a SaaS company. Do you understand what that means?
Right,
It
software as a service, yeah.
correct. So their software does website analysis for companies that do business online. So these tools are supposed to help them figure out what their customers in turn are doing online with the purpose of figuring out how to improve their websites. So these companies can either make more money or accomplish whatever goals they're looking for. Yeah.
Got it. And in terms of customers, what is the customer base like, or what are the different customer segments that we're currently catering to?
There are two types of customers that our client caters to. One is small business customers, and the second is Fortune 500 companies.
All right. And these two cumulatively entail the $110,000 a month that we stated, right?
Correct. So small businesses generate about $100,000 in each month, and the Fortune 500 companies then give you around $10,000 a month in revenue.
And how have these sales changed vis-a-vis previous periods?
As I said, we were growing before, but in this specific year, we've flattened.
Got it. And individually, with respect to the two customer segments, have both of these, have they gone down, or how has the trend been?
So sales for Fortune 500 have increased, while for the small business segment, it has decreased.
Got it. And I would also like to understand these flattened sales. Is it specific to our client, or is it an industry-wide problem? Like our competitors are also facing a similar situation?
We don't have any competitors.
No competitors.
Like, it's the only company in this market for this specific product.
Got it. And with respect to the two customer segments, do we also have any data points with respect to how many customers we have and what are the current prices we're charging them?
Sure, yeah. We don't have price data currently, but on customers, we have a breakdown for both the segments.
Sure.
In case of small and medium businesses, we are told that there were 1,800 new customers this year, 200 renewals, and a churn of 1,800. In case of Fortune 500 companies, there was one new customer, nine renewals, and one account that was churned.
Got it. Understood. And do we also know if these customers have changed from the previous periods or have these remained stagnant?
As I said, the new customers are 1,800, and there's also a churn of 1,800 customers.
And this is only with respect to the previous period.
Yes.
Got it. Sure.
So churn here means that 1,800 customers who paid last year did not pay this year.
Got it. Sure, I think I do have the initial data points that I would require. I will probably just outline my approach a bit. Would be fine if I take a few seconds.
Sure. You'll also want to look at the number of dropped accounts, right?
Right. So given in this case, our new customers and our churn are 1800. Uh, I'll probably divide it in a way that this 2000 was the total number of customers, and 1800 are the new ones, which are also equivalent to the churn, and then 200
Yeah,
are
but
the
that need
ones
not
which
be the
are
case, right? New and churn can be different. In
sure.
another year, you could add 1900 and lose only 100.
Sure, I can consider this separate. Then I this will also this. So given you also mentioned that our total sales from small businesses is 100,000, because we have 2,000 customers, is it fine if I take the price as 50? I'm just back calculating the price.
Yeah, sure.
Sure. I will just follow this similar approach for Fortune 500 as well. And price of Yep, I think I've outlined this. One thing I would like to also understand, could you let me know how are the customer profiles like? What exactly are the expectations of the two customer segments?
Right. So, in case of the small business customers, what they're looking for is to make some quick money online, right? You just pay $50, you get some online presence, and you're able to optimize whatever content you have online. Uh, so, in some sense, their objective function is improving their monetary outcome. In case of the Fortune 500 companies, what we've learned is that usually the purchase for the software is led by individuals who want to prove a return on investment on the e-commerce business to whatever senior leadership they have. And to that end, their objective is to simply get the required data. The objective function is securing a neat report and not optimizing for any monetary outcome.
Got it. And in case of small businesses, do we have enough visitors?
So there are enough visitors, but conversions, for example, may be low, right? And that's what our software is supposed to help them with. So it's almost like an optimization tool that will help you track say how many people are bouncing on the homepage, how many people, what percentage actually go from your homepage to one of the purchase pages, then who shows intent to buy the product, maybe by adding to cart and whatnot.
Understood. Understood. Sure. I think I do have a preliminary answer. Probably we could discuss that and let me know in case we can drive a discussion over there. One thing I understood from the number of customers and also the prices, because we have a very high churn and very low renewals, I think small business is not that lucrative for us.
Mhm.
One thing I would probably consider is to gradually start focusing on Fortune 500 more and small businesses less.
Mm-hmm.
One, because of high churn in small businesses, versus I think I'm able to have that loyal customer base in Fortune 500 because I have almost 90% renewal. Secondly, we are able to charge almost 20x price for a Fortune 500 client. So if we are able to focus those efforts to a Fortune 500 client, I think we are able to get much more returns over there.
Mm-hmm.
Second, in terms of aligning what our client has to offer vis-a-vis what the customer expectation is, I think we're not very much in line with what small business is currently expecting. With respect to Fortune 500, because they do have good enough data and we're able to improvise their metrics and they would be able to capture that return on investment on e-commerce, which they're currently targeting. I think that is more suited towards Fortune 500. Probably small businesses are currently not at that stage. Maybe going forward, we could probably come back and focus on the other segment. But I think Fortune 500 seems more in line with what we have to offer. Uh, I think I would firstly want to reduce my effort on small businesses, uh, increase my effort on Fortune 500 by focusing my Salesforce marketing resources in terms of trying to tap and capture more Fortune 500 clients because I would want to increase this overall customer base of 10.
Okay,
And
sure.
additionally,
That
because
makes sense, Varun, but can you defend this for me, given that a Fortune 500 client, the customer acquisition cost is actually 30x that of a small business?
and do we also success rate like in terms of how many customers are we trying to approach and what is the conversion with respect to Fortune 500 and how till when do they actually tie up with us or like till when are we able to actually serve them?
I already gave you numbers on the renewals here, right? It's okay. The answer I was looking for was that even if the revenue multiple is only 20x based on the price and the acquisition cost is 30x, what we see is that given these guys have lower churn, then the lifetime value will not just be 20x, it could be as much as 100x. And hence it's still profitable to go with exactly the solution you suggested.
Right. In addition to this, I think one more thing which comes to my mind is in addition to existing business, I would probably want to also look at other or new businesses in terms of exploring new product lines, diversifying my portfolio. I could also probably think of mergers, acquisitions, or joint ventures with any other similar offering. I understand there are no competitors currently, but in terms of any adjacencies, any similar products in maybe another market that any other provider is has to offer, we could probably also look to tie up with them and then actually leverage their client base.
100%. Thank you for that. Definitely makes your answer more comprehensive, and we will go to the client with this recommendation. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you.
So, I think it was a case well solved. A few things really stood out. For one, I think you were very specific with your preliminary questions. Also, all the hygiene factors were in place, right? Your clarity of speech, the solving speed, everything was pretty good there. Then I think you also did very well on drawing conclusions out of the data, not only in terms of summarizing that or calculating, but instead actually deriving real business insight, which is an excellent skill as a consultant. I think a few things you could build on. One would be with respect to the preliminary questions. I think those were good, but they also seem to come from some sort of a mental framework directly. So maybe immersing yourself more in the context of the case would be helpful. Second, I think you can invest more time in understanding the specifics of your client really. So the revenue model and exactly what the tool does. Maybe some of that clarity should come earlier in the case. Um, that level of specificity with respect to your understanding of the client will always keep you in good stead. Third, minor, but I think in places you skipped signposting. So maybe you were being messy, but it felt slightly more verbose. And to that end, if you just say, okay, I'm going to talk of A, B, C, and then delineate exactly A, X, Y, Z, B, X, Y, Z, I think that will just enhance the clarity of your speech further. That is it from me.